I'm on Facebook and YouTube now. Hello. Hello, Facebook, YouTube world. Special needs challenge learning. Do you have help with this? Yes, we do. Our entire program. We call it the buffet of homeschooling, but we created it because the two women, myself and Heather Leach, who is the other half of my homeschool village, we created my homeschool village because she has a special needs child. I have ADHD children. We both have a dyslexic child. We have children who are advanced. We have children who are behind. So we created a program that allows you as the mother to be able to adjust. It's set out in multiple, you have like so many resources, and then we show you how to go in and pick and choose. So if you take your child to a buffet, you're not going to feed them everything in there, right? They're going to go in with a plate and they're going to kind of pick and choose, and they're going to taste and eat. And they might go back and get more mac and cheese, or they might go back and taste something new. And they might go back and really delve into something new that they have learned. This is what homeschooling should be. It should be a buffet of learning. And that's what my homeschool village is created to be. It's a buffet of learning. And so you go in and you say, okay, I have a special needs child. I see the special needs resources. I'm going to use those for this kid. And then I have a child who's not special needs. They need to be more challenged, or a brilliant mathematician. Okay, I'm going to use this, this, and this for this child. And that's what my homeschool village is. We are a buffet. Okay, we are not a one curriculum fits all. We are not a buy this and use it straight through for all your children. We are a suggestion with resources for you to take your own children's successes, their trials, their whatever, and you get to build that curriculum for them. And then we guide you along as you have questions or need any help. So yeah, that is what my homeschool village is for. We actually have quite a few special needs children in there. And we've had a lot of moms say that their special needs children are really, really doing well with our program. You're welcome, Donna. You're welcome. All right. Any other questions? We are talking about socializing children today, homeschooling socialized children. Now, a lot of us I know are not big fans of social media, even though we're here right now using it. Social media should be a tool, right, for us to communicate with each other. We have a group. It's called Mighty Networks, is where it's housed. It is not social media, but it's where we can meet and talk with each other. And inside that group, we have a virtual village kids. And inside a buffet of what now? A buffet of learning. I know. It's a buffet of education, a buffet of knowledge where you can pick and choose, but where we have cut out the crap. We've gotten rid of the textbook ick is what I like to call it. The stuff that really matters. We give you meat, not milk. We're not here to fluff up your kids. We're here to really educate them. And that's what we've put in our village. Do you have any parents who have used your program in conjunction with curriculum? Yeah, we've had quite a few. You can use our program just for your electives. You can use our program just for our Kids Connection. You can use our program just for the support of mom to mom. You can use our program for just a few of the little extras that we put in there. Like, I love how Little World Wonders has a parent curriculum I do during my kids' downtime. Yeah, so it allows me to examine myself as a parent. Yeah, homeschooling is like putting a big mirror in front of your face and finding out who you really are, right? And hopefully it works out well. Sometimes we don't like what we learned, but it's a good chance for us to change. So today I'm talking about ask your questions, please. Ask any questions you have about homeschooling in general. I've been homeschooling for 20 years. If I haven't seen it, I know somebody who has. If I haven't dealt with it, I know someone who has. And we've homeschooled everything from pre-K to high school to college. So by all means, give me all your questions and let's get those answered. So Virtual Village Kids is what we have created for homeschool parents to be able to gather together their children and get to know their homeschooled kids. It has been absolutely miraculous. We have watched children come on and discover that there are other kids like them in the world, and they discuss what their homeschool schedules are, and they discuss what their hobbies are, and they talk about their days. And what's happening is we have children who are homeschooled across the country bonding. What will they do with that in 10 years, in 20 years? They'll have made friends from all over the world who are homeschooled like them, and then they will be able to, who knows, meet up and change the world. That's the hope. It really is. AJ, just curious. Yes, AJ. Curious. Did I miss something? Let me know what you're curious about. Does your program have a faith-based and non-faith-based options? As a matter of fact, yes. So we have some courses in there. Well, I'm losing my voice. We have some courses in there, like a world history. The world history program that we created for our own children does have faith-based. It actually includes the Bible in the world history. We have a how to study the scriptures course. It doesn't teach you scripture. It teaches you how to teach yourself scripture. And we have a couple of courses like that. You can take them, you can leave them. It's really up to you. But the general education is not religious based. But we do have extras in there for the religious family who would like to include that in their studies. So I come from a religious family. I teach my children scripture and prayer, and that is part of our homeschooling. It doesn't have to be part of yours if that's not who you are. You can even, you can leave it or take it, but we do have both options. We are here in my homeschool village. We are a Christian-based. The two women who started it, myself and Heather, we are both Christians, totally different religions, but we are faith-based. Now, the group itself, though, is an open place to talk faith-based. We do not push it on anyone, but we do make it open so that we all feel comfortable talking about our own religions. And I think that's vital. I think all children should be learning all religions. I think it's important that to truly understand the world, you need to understand all the religions and where they come from and what they believe. And so we have been, as a family, we do like to discuss that. My journey has been unique since I came from a non-religious but spent time in inclusive churches. Oh, interesting. I think it's important to know all kinds. We're actually working right now on finding a way to get our children in some other churches, and to, it's good for them to go and contrast and compare and find out the details. Some of my favorite people are totally different religions, and but I understand them better because of their belief. And I want my children to have the same opportunity. Hi, dearly blessed. Come on in. Okay, so we are working on socializing your children. How many of you need to socialize your homeschooled kids? Excuse me. Give me a thumbs up if you are struggling right now homeschooling your children or giving them a social life. I know that there's a lot of co-ops out there, which are amazing. We have used co-ops off and on. There's a lot of homeschool groups. We live near quite a few. But I do find that sometimes you can get overwhelmed with all the activities going on. So we do like keeping it a little more slower. I like a slower pace homeschooling. I prefer to spend the time with my kids. But we do a lot of social activities as well. So much have an only child now, and used to not like commuting till we get a fuel saver car. Yeah. Having an only child, and this is why we created Virtual Village Kids, is so that your only children, now when I had 5, it was easy. They just played with each other. But now 4 of those 5 are off and doing their thing. And my youngest is getting a little lonely. And this is when it dawned on me what it's like to homeschool one child. I never felt that before. This is a new thing. And so that is why we've created Virtual Village Kids, not just for the only child, but for the 14-year-old girl who doesn't have another friend that's 14 with their same interests. And so we created an art club because I have a 14-year-old daughter, and one of the other moms had a 14-year-old daughter, and then multiple other moms said, me too, me too. And so we created an art group for them to be able to get on and do art together and learn together and show off together and suggest together. And it's a beautiful thing. So if you're looking for anything like that, make sure you're checking out Virtual Village Kids. Callista, you're a busy lady. Library every other week, forest school on Wednesdays, and field trips 2 weeks in a row. That is a busy thing. Okay, I'm trying to squint. Now I can see, but now you can see all the lights that I have in here as reflected in my glasses. That's okay. So socializing your children does not have to be hard anymore, you guys. My homeschool village has the only social homeschool network. The only network for homeschooled children to connect with each other. There is nothing else out there. And we are protecting our children. We have women, mothers who are running the programs inside it, who are keeping track of it to make sure our children are safe. We have moms going in there making sure that no child is bullying or using bad language, and that everyone's being kind. Those are the requirements. We will remove any child who breaks a rule for any reason, or that we're just not. We have a no tolerance policy. There will be no bullying. There will be no bad language. There will be no bad anything. We will be heavily policing this, and it will be mothers who will be doing it. And so if you are interested in that, make sure that you click or go to myhomeschoolvillage.com, and it is on the website. Scroll down. My daughter's church teacher keeps asking her when she's going to start school. How can I help? Hi, Becca. How can I help my daughter respond? Well, interesting that she keeps asking her. I would teach your daughter to say, I am going to school. I'm just doing it at home. Or you know what? I'm being educated at home. That's what we've decided. I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think as a parent, if she's doing it in a hounding bully style, as a parent, I would go and talk to the teacher and say, we've decided to do this, and I'd appreciate you supporting that. Please stop asking my daughter. I think that's totally appropriate. So it depends on how that teacher keeps asking. But I would teach your daughter to say, I am going to school. I'm just doing it at home. And if the teacher continues to push, as a parent, I'd be talking to that teacher. I mean, just make sure. I think it really depends on her intent. Is her intent to bully, to push? Then I, as a parent, I'd be like, oh, no, you did not. So does that help? That's what I would do. I don't know. There's a lot of people in the world who bully a homeschooler, a lot of adults who think that the child is not in a good place because they're homeschooled. And those are the ones you got to put in their place. You just have to, or let them know that you don't care what they think. That's important too. And people will stop bugging you and you say, I really don't care what you think of my education choices, but you don't have a right to give me or if I wanted your opinion, I would have asked for it, kind of an idea. Colleen Doherty, starting homeschooling. Congratulations. Do you have any questions for me? I've been homeschooling for 20 years and love to help people. I have been coaching homeschooling for 15. So I would love to help with that. She's a school teacher and I'm convinced she just wants my daughter in her class. Well, then if I were you, I would have a little talk with her and say, can you please stop? My daughter is feeling bullied by your actions. Could you please stop asking her? And then she'd probably be like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that, and it's amazing how when you call someone out on bad behavior, how quickly they retreat. And I am a big fan of, you don't have to do it meanly. You just go in and say, hey, did you know that your behavior is doing this? Can you not do that, please? And people change behavior quickly. Any advice for unschooling? Yes. Honestly, I got to be unschooling right out of the box. If you've never homeschooled before, and you pulling them out of school can be a little tough at first. I actually recommend that you don't unschool until you work into unschooling. You'll find that it comes naturally, but do what makes you happy for now. And then just kind of follow it. You really are just listening to the child. You're being very observant on what your child is talking about, wanting, and then you're following what it is that they want to learn. So it's really about observance, and it's about a lot of communication, because an unschooler sometimes can push too much and be like, oh, you like bugs? Let's go get 20 books on bugs. And the kids are like, no. I just like the bug. So you have to really kind of reel yourself as a parent in. Was homeschooled myself because my parents were crazy religious. It did put me behind. I'm sorry. That is not a homeschool issue. That is your parents' issue. Most homeschoolers that I know are getting ahead. And I'm really sorry that put you behind. And I'm sorry that it was over a crazy religious. Oh gosh, been there with a school teacher, family friend wanting me to their class as a kid. Yeah. Yes, Becca, you're welcome. Yeah, nicely ask her to drop it. I mean, what's her point? You have to kind of ask, what's her point? If her point is badly intended, it needs to stop now. If it's nicely intended, then she needs to understand that it's not being taken that way. And she'll probably change that quickly. Then I shared with my mom that teacher also withheld the bathroom from me as a kid. Ooh. Yeah. hence the homeschooling, right, Callisto? We homeschool so our kids can go to the bathroom when their bodies tell them they need to go to the bathroom, so they can eat when their bodies tell them they're hungry, so they can sleep when their bodies tell them they need to sleep. These are vital things. I think it's interesting that when we don't homeschool, because I was public schooled, and you learn very quickly to ignore your bladder because you don't want to have to raise your hand and go to the bathroom and embarrass yourself. You learn to only eat when you're told to eat. And so you don't listen to, my body's hungry now. You can't have snacks. You can't not eat, because you'll go the rest of the day. You can't sleep when you need to sleep because you have to do certain things. It doesn't matter if you're stressed. You still need an A. It doesn't matter I had a friend whose father died in the middle of the school year, and he was still expected to have great grades. I'm thinking, when did we stop letting children be human? When did we dehumanize ourselves for a grade? And this is why we homeschool, so our children can actually understand, listen to their bodies and their own personal needs, whether it be stress, anxiety, depression, sleep, food. It's important that we teach our children to listen to their bodies and what their bodies need. I think the next generation will be much healthier. I think our generation is dealing with so much stress and anxiety because of what we were taught at a young age. And I'm wondering if maybe so many homeschool children, maybe the next generation will be healthier emotionally. And that'd be amazing. Becca says, I peed my pants in 3rd grade because the teacher wouldn't let me go. I still have PTSD over that, right? Oh my gosh, who wouldn't? You know how many lessons I never heard because I was dancing, trying not to pee my pants? Yeah, I remember that. It's traumatic. And the little traumas that really affect us as a kid that didn't need to. They didn't need to. Whether it was bullying, I remember being bullied. I was an early developed young lady, and the sexual harassment I received at a very young age, I have no doubt has messed with my body image. So, and I'm hoping and praying my children have escaped that because they've been homeschooled. I am finding, if you think, my 2 older daughters did do a co-op in a high school part-time, and it was just part-time, but it was interesting to see how quickly crap came into their lives and into their heads with that part-time work, to the point where my younger 3, I'm not doing that. Yeah, private or public school is extremely traumatic. Okay, I have a dog down here who keeps poking at me, so I'm just petting him. That's what my arm's doing over here. You can't see him, but he's down here. Okay, welcome. So for those of you who are new, Rebecca Stromsdorfer here, my homeschool village. I have 5 children. My husband and I, because my husband's here too, and it did take 2 of us. My husband and I have 5 children. We've been homeschooling for 20 years. Yes, public school. You cannot go through public school without severe trauma. You can't. I don't know a single person in the world who doesn't have a traumatic story in public school. The only people I know who have had traumatic stories at homeschool is because they had abusive parents. Okay, that hopefully is not the norm. You can have abusive parents whether you go to public or private or homeschool. Hopefully, there are less homeschooled children that are being abused. And for the abused child, I guess if public school is their escape, then I'm glad that's there for them. But for those of us who can homeschool our children, we should. We just should. It's just not even, in my opinion, public school shouldn't even be an option anymore. It just shouldn't. And yes, our children are planning on homeschooling their own children as well. So here comes the next generation. Really excited about that. The IEP issues alone took so much time and effort. Yes. So I have a sister who is the director of special needs in a charter. And she has been in special needs her whole life. She's in her 50s now. And she's the first one to tell me that an IEP is actually not that helpful. She'll say, we have to create the IEPs. She says, but if you will homeschool your children, that is an IEP and your children will do better. She says, as a special needs specialist, she says, really what she's doing is being the parent that disappeared. And that's what she does. And she says, I just have to go and parent, but then the state puts me in handcuffs and I can't really help these children. And she wants to so desperately, and she's a loving teacher and so sweet and kind, but the government keeps her from being able to truly help a child because of all the government hoops they have to go through. So I am not a big fan of IEPs, and unless you're a homeschooler, and every child has an individual education plan when homeschooling, guys. Every child, whether they're brilliant or whether they're struggling, but let's be honest, every child struggles at some point. I don't know a child alive who goes through education and childhood without difficulty. We all need an IEP at some point, all of us. And so I think it's important that we are bringing our children home and giving them the individual attention that they need. Calissa says, I interviewed an autistic student in my junior year of journalism school and his mom also. Interesting. What'd you come up with? That would be fascinating to see. Was neurodivergent, give me hope I can homeschool. Oh, good. And you can. If you are worried about homeschooling, please come see us in my homeschool village. This is what we do. We guide you, we direct you, we help you homeschool your children, and we help you find the confidence you need to do for your children what they need. What I have found in most cases is moms actually do know. We know best. Our instincts, our natural ability to be a mother automatically qualifies us to homeschool our children. It's the world that makes us doubt ourselves. And if we can ignore that world, we will be able to homeschool our children better. We will have more confidence and our children will have more confidence. So when I talk to a mom, most times when I talk to a mom about homeschooling, it's really about helping her realize that her instinct is smack on. So make sure you are listening to your own inner voice, your own inspiration. That instinct that you have inside as a mother is what you need to homeschool, period. And if you need more guidance than that, come join my homeschool village, because that's why we're there. That's what we do. That's how we help. So any questions you have, remember, we are right now running Virtual Village Kids. It's where your children can go in and meet other homeschooled children. We do meetups, we do book clubs, we do Minecraft groups. We have all of those things where your children can meet up. There's a whole calendar that we have for you. If you would like your children to be a part of that, it's $25 a month right now. And that's for the entire family, all your kids involved. And by the way, included with that is the mom group. Okay, we're doing book clubs as moms. We're doing recipe swaps as moms. We are doing all kinds of fun things online as moms as well, and it's all included. Hearing the schools don't have AC in this heat only added on to reasons I saw homeschool. Yeah, my kids, they tried to go to school with a cousin, I think, and they're like, oh my gosh, mom, it's like prison. I thought, when you haven't been raised in school, my children actually, here's what's interesting, because my kids were homeschooled their whole lives. When they do enter a school, it's interesting to see their perspective, because I grew up in public school. That's what I did. So I just see it as, one versus the other. My children walk into a public school and they look around and they start to feel claustrophobic and they go, oh my gosh, mom, this is horrible. And they see it as this prison because children have to sit all day. It's just interesting to see a child who has never seen the public school system, when they have seen it, think it doesn't make sense. Isn't that fascinating? A child who's never seen the public school system and then enters it thinks that it makes no sense. It's not logical. And how could this possibly work? And I think that's fascinating. The next generation of homeschoolers are going to make some serious changes. Plus the bullying over ridiculous things that aren't any reason to bully. Amen. But bully for bringing lunch from home. Yeah, right. I know, the bullying. I remember in 6th grade, staying away from certain areas because the boys waited for the girls and then they would sexually harass us. They would grab, they would touch, they would say horrible things. That was 30 years ago. And I remember the corners we avoided because the boys sat waiting for us. And I can't imagine what it is now 30 years later. I really can't. Okay. So any other questions? Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Now I take it as a lesson, and I take it as something that I can use to make me stronger. And I take it as something I can help to make sure my daughters stay out of those situations. I have beautiful children, and they are also targets because of it. And looks are not always a blessing. Yes. And there is cyberbullying on social media, which is why we created a safe place for homeschooled children. It's not like social media where they're scrolling and posting. It's more like there's a conversation that's going on that the moms can see. And there's meetups, but the meetups are always overseen by an adult, always. So we know, and it's not just an adult, it's a mom. It's a homeschool mom is overseeing all of our meetups or running them or at least being there so that we know that all stays appropriate. We don't end up with someone that shouldn't be there and there's no cyberbullying. So if you're looking for a place for your homeschooled children to meet other homeschooled children, go check out Virtual Village Kids on myhomeschoolvillage.com. We learned how to create safe spaces on internet since partner works in tech. Oh, nice. He banned TikTok for a week. Yeah, I don't blame him. I try to stay off social media unless I'm working to help you guys. Other than that, I don't go on. It's such a time suck it can be, and yet here I am using it. But it's the only way I know to reach you. And there is a necessary. It's like everything out there. You know, you use the tools at your hand. It's not the tool that is the evil. It's the people using it. It's like money. Money can be used for evil or good. It's like a knife. It can be used to cook or to kill. It's like it's like a gun. It can hunt or it can hurt. And so all things, it's the tool. It's like my sister says, it's not about, if guns killed, then forks make you fat. So we watch our tools. We're careful with our tools. That's what we do. Oh my gosh, Callisto, you're funny. How many years of education do you have in childhood education? Well, I have 20 years of education because I've been educating my children for over 20 years. Actually, we're at 22 now. So I have been educating, homeschooling, running co-ops. Did I go to school for education? No. And I don't believe that's the best route. I believe hanging out with I have a college education. I just don't have it in specific education. I do have a college education. My husband's a NASA engineer, and I have, that's what the uneducated would say. Interesting. Okay, so we've got a nasty one on here. Homeschooling is an education. I have more hours homeschooling my children than I would have had if I had gone to school for education, if I had gone for master's and bachelor's and PhD. I still have more education and more experience than any of those ever would. So it's not about just a college education. It's about it's about experience. It's about being involved. It's about learning on your own. And these are things that we teach our children. One can have a college education, not in education. Amen to that, right? Yeah. So we are, we're big on education in our family. We also show our children that a college is not the only place to get an education. Universities are businesses. They will take your money. They will rake it through. I just had a conversation with my brother-in-law, who is a university professor. And he said he just ended up, they were in a meeting, and in that meeting with the college, with all of the professors there, they literally just told them that they need to dumb down their education so that their grades look better. He literally just had a meeting like that in the universities, and it was shocking. He said he came home shocked. He was literally told, make your programs easier for the kids to be able to pass them better and get better grades. Literally, that was told. So what is really education about in the universities and some of these places? Grades and numbers, not real education. So we teach our children, we pick and choose. It's an important thing. Oh, X-ray cat, you may leave. We don't need you here. Okay. Truth leaving door open to trade school, internships, apprenticeships. Yep. There are a lot of ways to educate yourself anymore. You don't have to go to college. Shouldn't say education is bad. It's more than one way to educate someone. Yeah. I don't think education is bad. My husband's an engineer. He works for NASA. We went through years of college and paying off debt for him to do that. And I'm so grateful he did. It kept me home and able to teach our children. If you want to be a doctor, I think, obviously that's the route you need to go. If you want to be an engineer, if you want to be a lawyer, there are certain places that you need to go. You need to get that education to be able to do. And if that's what my kids want to do, by all means. I have an entrepreneur. We have found other routes for him. I have 3 children now, one in college, one without college. There's a lot of ways to do it. I have 3 children. Each one is educating something. Well, I have 5, but I have 3 out of high school now, and all of them are choosing different ways to get themselves educated. Education is vital, or I wouldn't homeschool. If I didn't want my kids educated, I'd leave them in public school. I have the years of college debt. My partner has his associates, has worked in tech for 15 years. Yeah. Oh my gosh, X-ray cat, you're just twisting words now. You're not even listening. So if anybody, anyway, I'm not going to fight this. I know who I am. I know what I believe, and I know what is true. And you're not really going to mess with that. So anyway, I have another meeting coming up right now, and we need to get moving. The most critical skills are teaching life skills and nursing the parent-child relationship. Thank you, user number. Agree on that. I agree. My children can do so much because they stayed home. We don't even know what the college or school of future looks like for the babies now. No, we don't. And it's something we have to keep an eye on. But there are so many options nowadays to learn how to educate yourself. We don't teach our children what to learn. We teach our children how to learn. We teach our children how to learn for themselves. We teach them, if this is what you want to know, this is how you get there. Now do it. And they get there themselves. And that to me is the number one skill to teach in homeschooling. I don't teach my kids what to learn. We teach them how to seek it out. So when they ask me a question about something, like my son was like, hey, mom, about cars, blah, blah, blah. I will say, okay, let's go look it up. We'll get on YouTube. We'll get books from the library. We'll find specialists. We'll talk to people. And so my job is to teach him how to find his own answers. Teaching sixth grade ain't no joke. I'm struggling. Oh, honey. No, it is not. What are you using right now teaching sixth grade? Let me see if I can help you with that. A lot of times it's the curriculum. Let me see. What curriculum are you using? New homeschool mom of two, and I'm loving every minute. Yes, Fran, that is what I like to hear. Congratulations. That's excellent. So I wasn't prepared for hybrid school, but I see learning moving more toward learning from anywhere. Yeah, it's about everywhere and anywhere. I think textbooks are the fastest way to kill a child's love for learning. I hate textbooks. I think they're the worst way to learn in the world. I really do. And yeah, not in a brick and mortar environment. Amen. Over 60% of future jobs are unknown, so they'll need those skills, right? Amen to that. Brain Quest. Okay, and The Good, the Beautiful. I do like The Good and the Beautiful. It can be a little intense. You outsource some subjects. I do the same. Do you have just the one child, or are you doing multiple? And what is the challenge there? What exactly is, tell me what's making it hard. Are you and the child struggling? Is the child not liking the curriculum? How long are you doing homeschool? That a lot of times can be one of the issues. In sixth grade, a kid can get everything done in less than 2 hours that somebody in public school does in 3 days. So how long are you homeschooling? We homeschool like actual work 3 days a week. 2 hours a day. And my kids are still above and beyond where the public schoolers are. And with the teacher exit and forcing folks to have certain degrees won't be something to be expected. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, one child and he's on the spectrum. Okay. Have you checked out, is he having social issues? Is he lonely? My homeschool village has an amazing program that helps with that. We have so many kids on the spectrum in there because we have so many different resources for them. Would he be interested in our virtual village kids program, where he goes in and meets with other kids and sees other homeschooled children and does book clubs and things like that? Is that something he'd be interested in? Sixth grade, you can use fun videos like SciShow for science, local library for activities. Yeah, we have, what's it called? Generation Genius. Have you heard of Generation Genius? We have that as part of our program. We have Creative Bug as part of our program. Typesy. They're all online programs that actually help you just work at home. Even though they're online, you're not doing the work online. It's more like classes that help you to work at home. Yes. How do I sign them up for that? Okay. If you are looking, Generation Genius is so fun. And it is part of my Homeschool Villages program. If you're looking for a place, okay, so go to myhomeschoolvillage.com. The link is in our bio. And if you scroll down, you'll see what Virtual Village Kids is what we call it. It's a place for homeschool children to meet up. We have adult homeschool mothers running book groups and Lego groups and art groups and Minecraft groups. And what's happening is the homeschool children are, as they're meeting up on these, they're becoming friends. They're on Discord and they're building My Homeschool Village together. What they're doing is coming together and becoming friends and buddies. And it's so fun because you don't see the same judgment you see in a public school. You see these kids like bonding over the fact that I'm at home too. Look, there's other kids like me. And we're having some extremely amazing conversations in our book clubs. The kids are reading it together. They're discussing the books. It is really, really neat. So make sure go sign up right now. Let me know if there's a problem. We literally launched this week. If there's any problem with the links, please message me here. I've tested and I hope all is working. But if for some reason, every once in a while we have these weird techie flukes, let me know. But it's $25 a month and it's for the whole family. Like if you have 8 kids, they're all in. It also includes mom group. We're doing book clubs. We're doing recipe swaps. We're doing herbal and homesteading groups. It's included. So yes, there's a mom social network, but there's a kid social network, and it's all off social media. So you don't have to worry about ads. You don't have to worry about inappropriateness. You don't have to worry about creepos on there. We are being very careful. So, and if you want to be a mom who oversees, let us know. But yeah, that's what we're doing. So go check that out. Sorry, doing lives makes my nose itch. Okay. So any other questions before I take off? I am now live at 10 a.m. every Tuesday on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Still trying to get Instagram at the same time. So Instagram's coming. And then we are live inside our group. Talk about our social network group. Inside our group, I will be going live today at 1 o'clock Mountain Time. And in there, we chat it up. We are laughing together. We do giveaways. It is so much fun. So we're really looking forward to having you guys. If you want to come join us, please come join us today, 1 o'clock Mountain Time. 1 o'clock Mountain Time. That's 3 o'clock Eastern Time and noon Pacific. So we would love to have you there on Tuesdays inside our group. Click the link in the bio and you'll find us. It's free. Okay, so any other questions for a homeschool mom who's gone all the way from pre-K to college with her 5 children? Please go ahead and list them here. I want to help you homeschool. I know that a lot of you have special needs children. You have children on the spectrum. It not only can be done, but it can be done better at home. Your children will do 10 times better, no matter how frustrated your day is, no matter how hard it can be. Your children will still do better at home. Your worst day at home is still better than their best day in public school. So maybe you write yourself a big note on that. Put it on your wall. Your worst day at home is still better than their best day in public school. Remind yourself that. For 20 years, that's something I've had to remind myself of over and over again. So make sure you've got that. Co-work on different projects or curriculum. Yes, we do love finding other homeschool families who we can work with. Love it. If you can't find them, get online. Go to Virtual Village Kids. That's the whole point. Oh, you're commenting for the algorithm. Thank you, Wednesday's Child. I very much appreciate that. That's funny. Tintin, Gina, welcome. I really appreciate that. I do need to head. I try to keep this to an hour. My voice is gone. You are so welcome. So welcome. I wish I knew your name so I could actually say your name on there. But hopefully you're over in Mighty Networks so we can join up in there. We do have a lot of really cool things coming with my homeschool village very soon. So stay tuned, keep watching. We will be having some announcements of some great things going on. And in the meantime, go check out the virtual village. If you go in and click on it, you'll get a full rundown of what's inside and what we're doing in there. And let us know what you think, and we're always open to suggestions. So you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for being here on the live, and we will see you next week at 10 Mountain Time. Bye-bye.